That's the doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hey, welcome to the People's Weekly. It's 2:13 p.m., so we're right on time. I'm Tim Best Buds. I'm here with Canadian Glenn, Steve Shagwell, and Seven. How you guys doing?
Nice to be back. Little bit of a holidays over. Time to get back to mundane bullshit everyday life.
Yeah, you were on a holiday for a while there, weren't you?
Not 8 days, 9 days. I must say, RightsCon was amazing. It was billed as the largest human rights conference ever. Seemed like it to me. Wow, there's a lot of shit going on.
Huh.
How many people were there?
Just the people that agreed to put their name on the attendees list was over 2,000.
Wow.
Over 145 countries were represented, and I believe there was about 210 sessions over 3 days.
Not Jeff Sessions, right?
No, actual sessions where we discuss real things.
Cool. So yeah, Seven, what's up with you? I haven't had you on here forever. And then 3 days more than that.
Been pretty busy. A lot of things with Operation Stop Suicide going on. Basically, just keeping things together on that.
That's kind of why you're here today anyway. We're going to go over that in a couple minutes. We'll play the clip again, too, the one we released on the People's Voice.
Oh, thank you very much.
But, yeah, first, what are these noises getting made all over the place? The Skype update did something really stupid. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Nope.
Oh, hopefully our great audience won't be hearing that either, but I keep hearing bling bling. It's crazy noises. Maybe I'm just really stoned. I don't know. Anyway, what?
Either that or they're listening in.
Yeah. Not on Skype. It's totally secure. So, yeah, let's, Acorn Electron sent the People's Voice message, and what he's doing is anyone who donates to Lauri Love's official fund, he's not asking for money or anything. He's saying donate to the official fund or Lauri's legal fund where he gets the money to help him fight his case, and then contact him separately and tell him that you did so, and he'll give you he'll do a free 8-bit custom art design for you. And his artwork's pretty amazing. You can check it out at Acorn Electron on Twitter. That's ACORNELECTRON. But let me play the clip. It's like a 3-minute thing where he explains it all. And like I encourage you guys, like if you're gonna donate to Lauri Love, there's an extra perk to get some free artwork for it. So, anything anyone want to say before we roll this?
Play it.
Here we go.
Hi everyone, how's it going? It's Acorn Electron here. I just wanted to let everyone know about an idea that I'd had, an idea that I wanted to put forward. I'm just trying to raise awareness for Lauri Love's continuing legal battle in the UK. Anybody that's been following his case will know that the threat of extradition to the US has now passed by with the High Court ruling. There's some victory against that, but things are still ongoing in the UK and so there's a defence fund. The freelorry.com website, the Courage Foundation site there, has got a donate system in place so that people can help with the defence fund for Lauri. And I wanted to kind of raise some awareness for that, and people that know me on Twitter will know that I'm a low-res artist. I do 8-bit artwork on an old vintage computer, an Acorn Electron, and I wanted to kind of use that artwork for this, really. And the idea that I had was that if people were kind enough to donate to the Defence Fund, if they could ping me over a DM on Twitter, or you can email me, acornelectron@protonmail.com. So just get in touch through Twitter or on the email and just let me know you've donated. I don't need to know how much. It doesn't matter how much. If you can donate, that's great, whatever you can spare. But just let me know you've done a donation, and I'd be happy to do some artwork for you, some bespoke artwork. If you've got something you'd like me to draw, I can have a go at that. It's kind of a quirky, unique style, the artwork that I do. If you have a look on my Twitter profile, a fair bit of it's been posted up on there, and there's a link to the Goblin Refuge archive site that I use for the artwork, so you can have a look at a bit more of it. But, the picture that I draw doesn't have to be political or anything like that. Anything you want me to have a go at, I'll draw it and send you over the PNG file. And you can, do what you want with it. I won't use that picture for anything else. But I just thought it might be a nice way just to get people thinking about donating if they haven't done previously. And go over to that free Lauri website, the Courage Foundation one, freelorry.com. Because you can read all about the case there and, some of Lauri's background if you're not familiar with what's going on. And, that's about it. So, if you feel you can donate, please do. That's great. And, ping me over a message and we can have a chat about a drawing. So thanks for listening, and thanks to People's Radio for letting me just get this out there. And, have a great day, people. Thank you.
There it is. I think it's pretty awesome that he's doing that, donating his time and his talent to try to get people to say, oh, I could, some people will be like, some people want something to donate. I don't know why that is with something like the Lauri Love situation, because you're helping somebody that needs help. That helps a lot of people, so whatever. But no, I think it's a great thing, and yeah, I encourage you guys, if you do donate to Lauri, it's an extra perk. Just go ahead and contact Acorn Electron on Twitter. So yeah, moving on. You want to do the opstopsuicide now?
That is completely up to you.
Cool. Let's do that now, and then we'll get into the topics for today. So yeah, you want to say anything before I play it? I'm loading it up right now. Seven.
No, I think it explains a lot. I can actually already say, as one of the administrators for the last, since inception, it says that one message says a lot.
All right, and we're going to play an important message from anonymous opstopsuicide. Here we go.
Greetings. We are Anonymous Operation Stop Suicide. Do you love humanity? Do you care about all people? Do you feel more alive when helping others? Do you believe that helping one person can possibly change the entire world? Do you want to be involved in one of the longest running anonymous operations in history? Are you looking for an op where the feds won't always be on your back, and you won't have to do anything illegal to help others? If this sounds like you, then Operation Stop Suicide wants you. In these crazy times, in this crazy world, there are even more people hurting than usual. There are more people than ever wanting to end it all, to escape from the madness and insanity of everyday life. Many of these people can be saved if they just had somebody who genuinely cares about them, someone that they can talk to, someone trusted that they can confide in. We desperately need more people involved with Stop Suicide who are willing to help others. Please contact at Stop Suicide on Twitter to get involved today. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is hurting and desperately needs you. Don't wait another second. Contact us now and get involved. You may end up saving a life and making a new friend for life. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. We love, assist and protect our sister and brothers around the world. To all those hurting, to all those who desperately need help, expect us.
Stop suicide. So yeah, I encourage anybody that cares and has even a little bit of extra time to get involved. I believe Seven, you said like anytime you're available is a good time, right?
Anytime that anybody wants to be involved, that is a really good time.
So I mean, yeah, I mean if you just have a little extra time in a week, get involved, do something. I mean, help people. People need someone to talk to. So, I mean, let Seven talk. I'm rambling on, but you know more about it, way more about it than I do.
No, you said it exactly. If you even have just a couple of minutes, go online, help out. Add the Stop Suicide hashtag to your bio. Make sure that it's on your profile. I mean, honestly, be there for somebody as a point of contact. No bias, no judgment. Be there for them to talk to. Because sometimes having that one person there makes a world of difference. Far more than you might even think possible. And for those of you that have been depressed, have had suicidal thoughts, you know exactly what these people are going through, and you know exactly different ways of helping without them having to worry about things afterwards. Be there. Help them.
Definitely.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I mean, from my personal experience in this life, I answered phones at a crisis line for a number of years, and what Seven and Tim both said, a couple minutes can be the couple minutes that matters, that really matters. And and even a little bit of time is important, because the one thing that I think everybody should understand and acknowledge is that this problem is not going away. There's nothing out there that's being done to stem this problem or even adequately research it, as far as I'm concerned. It's being allowed to be a part of existence, that this problem is out there. And there is no official compilation to acknowledge it, but everybody knows it's happening. I don't think there are many people left that do not know someone who's taken their own life. So a little bit of help can be the perfectly timed little bit of help.
Yeah, definitely.
That's very true. Also, one additional fact after multiple months of research, then verification. For any of you old schoolers out there, over 9,000. We have helped. Stop Suicide has officially helped over 9,000 people. Anons and non-anons alike. This operation doesn't care if you are behind the mask. We do not ask any personal questions. If you have something that you need to get off of your back and you want somebody to talk to about it, yeah, we will definitely help. If you want to get involved, definitely. If you're from back in the old days, back in 2chan, you're more than welcome to help. You've lived through this. You know, you've, just like the rest of us involved, you've lost friends. There are quite a few of us that have lost people along the way, which is why this operation was created. We don't want to see that happen ever again.
Definitely. If somebody has a lot of time and really wants to get involved, what should they just DM opstopsuicide on Twitter?
They could DM opstopsuicide on Twitter. We also have a channel. We have people monitoring a channel on Telegram now. Group on Facebook. I don't know why, but we do have a group on Facebook.
We're trying to reach everybody, no matter where they're at, right?
Well, I think that Facebook was originally set up as a forum, but it's been doing pretty decent. We also have people in the IRC. So pretty much anywhere you can go online, we're out there. The only place that we haven't hit, as far as I'm aware of, is MySpace. And that's for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons.
Well, I mean, honestly, who uses MySpace?
I think we should boycott MySpace and close our accounts because they obviously support suicide, right?
Well, I think that anybody who's listening to this has already killed off their MySpace page quite a long time ago.
If they ever have one.
The boycott's working.
Oh, no, I think I still have one somewhere.
I like this. I say it on the radio when it happens. I just shut down MySpace, y'all.
With great power comes great responsibility, Tim. Now shut down Facebook.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Tim, next thing... No, but the next thing that you're going to be saying is that you're going to try to take on Op Amish down.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
That was the
down.
only 100% successful operation, and done in a very brief amount of time.
AmishBabes.com is still down because of me.
AmishBabes.com.
Look who perks up all of a sudden in the conversation.
Yep. So
real quick before we get started, yesterday near Laredo, Texas, ICE agent gunned down an unarmed 20-year-old woman named Claudia Patricia Gomez Gonzalez. She was coming across a border with a group of people, and he was supposedly, quote unquote, dang, Oliver's going crazy, it must be mail time. He was supposedly investigating a crime and came across this group of people, so he had to kill this unarmed 20-year-old woman. This is another tragedy, thanks to borders and totalitarian governments and nationalism and all kinds of other stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, I understand if people want to have borders and nations that they want to, protect the integrity of those borders and nations, but why the fuck do we need borders and nations?
So one can be better than the other.
Money.
And without borders and nations, it's harder to have wars. Come on, Steve.
That's right. You got to team up.
Yeah. Dogs running
Tribalism at its finest.
Dogs running packs.
True enough. Well, I'll tell you what, from outside the U.S., between CBP behaving like the SS border guards and ICE acting like the new Einsatzgruppen, it's looking pretty fucking fascist down there, guys.
Yeah, it is.
this
It's
thing about all
beginning
the,
to look a lot like fascist.
I mean, this thing with the almost 1,500 kids that they can't find that were taken from people by ICE. This is what is going on.
Wait a
Where-
minute. They can't find these kids?
No.
Yeah.
15,000?
No, 100.
1,500.
It's
Yeah.
still. Yeah, 15
That sounds
is
like
too
child
many to be
sex
missing.
trafficking.
Well, exactly.
Don't forget, this is also the same government that lost how many trillions of dollars and still can't account for it?
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
But these are humans, not just dollars.
but you take the kids away from the parents when either in an ICE raid or wherever, and the parents are immediately deemed illegals. So goodbye constitutional rights, and their kids are absorbed into a federal system that they can no longer question by law. And the government itself doesn't know where almost 1,500 of these kids are.
Yeah, this fits into number 3. So
Well,
we should.
they know. This is how you do government sanctioned sex trafficking.
Unbelievable. I mean, if this isn't fascism, I don't know what is.
Yeah, like I was saying, this fits into number 3, and number 3 went further because when it was written out, it was a couple days ago. Trump said immigrants are not people; they are animals. He claims a statement was made in regards to MS-13 gang members, but this clearly wasn't the case. Now everyone from the random racist to racist lawyers to border patrol agents are harassing people, detaining people for nothing more, and now killing people for nothing more than speaking Spanish. Are we starting to criminalize speaking another language in the United States? And more relevant, I think it was yesterday, Trump said, when talking about children coming across the border, again, he conflated with MS-13, but that's not the case. He said, they look innocent, they're not so innocent. They're animals, you know what I mean? They're not people, they're animals. And the thing is, he was talking about people that were getting, he said we deport, just before that he said we're deporting a lot of them, but not enough. You don't deport MS-13 members. You lock them in jails because they're criminals, right? These are the killers and rapists. Why would you just deport them so they could come back?
Well,
So he
I
clearly
mean,
wasn't talking about them.
to me, this just sounds like modern Lebensraum discussion. You know, it's those who are not us must be expelled. That's the beginning and the end of it. And
He talked about kicking NFL players out of the country. We're going to talk about that later, but kicking them out of the country. And I don't believe he was talking about the white players either.
well, no, because, you know, how could there ever be a white NFL player that would not support systemic racism?
Again, Nolan. No, Nolan's busy today. He's having some stuff going on. But every time we talk about football, I like to have a football fan, because I don't know anything about it. But anyway, yeah. But deporting people, how are you going to deport NFL players that are citizens of the United States? Kick them out the country? This guy's insane.
He's going to make simple. He's going to sign a presidential order, immediate executive decision that it is illegal to not stand up during the Pledge of Allegiance or the national anthem. And then it goes back to the rise of Hitler again.
Yeah, these are the Reichstag laws.
Yes.
So is that just for football players, or is that for everybody?
Well,
he'll make it for everybody.
Yep.
So what would the penalty be? A ticket?
Depends who you are.
Oh, because
How rich
I
are
guess
you?
I'm going to be paying a lot of fees, but I don't go to sporting events. But they'll probably start trying to play it in the streets with their military parades, right? So you have to stand
Yep.
certain times of the day. Kids in school have to stand for this thing and listen to it. I bet it's going to get, if he goes all the way out with it.
But you know that crazy Islam where they have to pray 5 times a day. That's dogmatic. That's insane. We're going to do it over a tune and a flag now.
At least one has a deity they believe in.
Well, the deity here is Trump.
I guess. Man, these sirens want to come around during show times.
It's a
Yeah, I
hint.
guess. You have some supreme ruler, and I just don't think he has enough people to like him. It would be really forced. Like, I don't know if this can go down as
Well, I
easily.
mean,
But these people let
yeah,
anything. He can get away with anything right now. They talk all this crap, and then nobody does anything.
yeah, but don't forget, if you look at history, it took that big event in Germany for Hitler to really get in charge to where nobody could question his authority. And how much would it take at this stage of the game for Trump to just seize executive control? Not a
Yeah,
whole lot, really, if it's the right thing,
a
you
big
know?
terrorist attack or something, or a strike from another country, supposedly, whatever. Yeah.
But when I look at what he says about Mala Salvatrucha, which, you know, a lot of people say was actually formed by the Guatemalan and El Salvadoran and Honduran death squads that the CIA sent, um, I see a comparison to what it must have been like for the Japanese in World War II. You know, it started out with politicians saying, well, you know, look what's happening back where they came from. This is bad news. And then it moves to, you know, there's some of them here. And then once Pearl Harbor happened, that's it. Off to the camps you go.
Yeah,
So how is this?
I don't think they're
How
gonna
is
do anything big. I mean, these cats have been around forever. I see some of them. I know some of them. It's like most of them are U.S. citizens, born here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and millions of Jews were German citizens.
I'm talking about MS-13. I'm not talking about
No,
Latino
but
people in general.
no, but I'm just saying you're one of them. That's it. Game's over.
Yeah, but he's trying to conflate all immigrants as being MS-13, well, from south of the border immigrants being MS-13 members or affiliates, and that's just not the case.
But that doesn't matter. That's not his message. He's just dehumanizing Latinos. That's the idea, obviously. I mean, this ain't a mistake when you say shit like this.
Basically, yeah.
You
You
know,
know,
it's scary.
I think there's been a tendency to believe that Trump is an idiot, and that's the thing is he's mentally ill, and mentally ill people can sometimes present like idiots who don't know what they're doing. You know, they can present that way, but I think Donald Trump knows exactly the deeper ramifications of what he's saying and when he's saying it. I think there is some shooting from the hip there, but it's sort of like when you plan a strategy and then you stick to the general outline of the strategy and you kind of wing it as you go, but you're sticking to this strategy. Like his strategy is demonize Hispanics by conflating them with MS-13 and the Mexican drug cartels that they're fleeing from.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think that's too much. I think he's just a racist, and I think he already demonizes everybody that doesn't agree with him, that he doesn't like. And when it's a darker person, or a group of people, he already doesn't like them, so he's going to demonize them. I mean,
yeah, but
he's a buffoon. He has smart people surrounding him, but you can tell the difference when he's talking and when he's reading something. And he doesn't even read that good. You can tell when he writes his tweets and when others do. They just said the White House aides that actually do write some of his tweets dumb them down, misspell words, and do all this stuff on purpose to make them sound like they're actually his. How crazy is that?
yeah,
Fucked
that's
up.
pretty.
That's what it is.
But you know, I really honestly believe that Donald Trump is a psychopath, and like many psychopaths, he is constantly plotting and scheming, and he's always trying to plant seeds. And I think a lot of times he knows exactly what he's saying, and he's saying it with a desired effect in mind. It's not him just shooting off.
Well, yeah, his desired effect is to rile up the people that believe whatever he says, which is his base.
Well, not just that. I mean, those are the easy people to convince. There's also people who are not his base. And, of course, you have over on the far end, the resistance, the hard left going hard against him. They're never going to be, brought over to his side. But all these people in the middle, if he can just make it seem normal, it's that old saying that came out of the Third Reich. If you repeat a lie often enough, people will start to accept it as fact. And, I think a lot of statements he says, he is saying something very shockingly obvious, but he embeds a little bit of a lie in there and just over time, these lies are going to take root in people's heads and in people who aren't in the cult of Trump. And that's what I'm really concerned about.
Don't you think he's preaching to basically the uneducated and ignorant? Because most of the things he says can be easily verified as false with a quick Google search and checking a few legitimate sites out.
Well,
I mean, it's really not that hard to do the research to just to debunk most of the stuff this guy says. And if they're not doing it and they're willing to believe it, then, like I said, they're ignorant and or uneducated.
He is, but you got to realize the average person in America has a life. They have a job. They have family. They just can't go running around confirming shit all day and fact checking shit all day. And there's so many
phone
lies
in your
being
pocket in your hand all day, and they're always tweeting and Facebooking and smiley faces and snapping pictures in the mirror. You're going to tell me they can't take 2 seconds to type in a Google search and look through a couple things?
that's their priority, though.
Well,
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's their priority. And the thing of it is over time, they just start to feel like there's no point in even trying to rebut a lie, because this is a big part of the equation. Donald Trump can make a blatant lie. It can be proven false, but his base has already decided it is gospel. Case in point, the FBI embedded a spy in Donald Trump's campaign. Ooh, this is Spygate. This is the scandal of the century. Well, again, Rosenstein or whatever, he let the Intelligence Committee and the party heads review all the records in regard to that informant, and even the Republicans came away and they're suddenly very quiet because it was bullshit. But guess what? We know it's bullshit now, but guess who doesn't know it's bullshit? His base. Because as soon as he caters to a really particularly stupid group of people who decide something and then never change their mind. So he knows all he has to do is influence the first decision they make about something, because there will not be a second decision.
Yeah, it's just follow after that.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's always good. It doesn't matter where you are on the political spectrum and what your messaging is. You always have to pay attention to those who have devoted their belief to you. You always have to throw meat to the base, whether you're left, right, or center. That's just how shit works. But I think the other factor is, like you said, just keep repeating the same lie. And as you said, Steve, people just don't bother to search it anymore. It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop. People lose interest. They become desensitized to it. I think that guarantees any chance of Trump even being able to run for a second term. If they just keep mesmerizing and disgusting enough people to turn away, they prefer that. Then it leaves all their rabid supporters to vote for him. And all these people said, fuck it, I'm staying home.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's good to be skeptical of the guy who, anytime something comes out negative of him, says it's fake news. This is negative about me, so it's fake news. It's false.
Yep.
It's really not that hard. The dude should already be in trouble. I don't know what's going on here. It's just like
Well,
he's committed crimes that we know about.
Oh, yeah,
Things that
every day.
I mean, he's sitting here talking about transparency and how much he believes in it. What the heck, man? He doesn't believe in transparency. The dude is just, he says one thing and does another. It's the craziest thing. Whatever he says, he's not doing that. When he slams somebody for doing something, he does the same thing. Obama golfs all the time, but I'm going to golf more than him. Hillary kept you unsafe because of her emails, but I'm going to use my own personal phone. I mean, it's just like, he's right.
For anybody wanting to know anybody that wants to know who's listening in, he is still using a Galaxy S3.
But I'm saying he's right. He's not lying when he says all these people are corrupt and crooked and liars and all this and that. But he's more corrupter, he's more crookeder, and he's more liarer. That's the part.
Well,
Liarer.
Here's a
Is
question.
that even a word?
It is now.
I demand a fact check. Glenn, fact check, please. Is liarer a word?
Liarer. Go ahead.
Dude, bigly's a word now. Huge is a word now. Like a liar could be a word.
Yeah,
okay,
an
yeah.
orange buffoon with the weird haircut thing, yellow hair, weird bird-looking thing on his head could
it's a slug.
Can make up a word.
Having to tell you this.
I can make up any word I want to. Liarer.
Okay, here's a question though. He comes out with a lie. It's proven false by media or whoever.
Fake news.
Then he says fake news, but the outlets never come back at him.
They're scared. They're scared they're going to lose access to the White House and to what he... I mean, who cares? He's lying. I know people say they want to hear what the president... No. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Well, he puts things on Twitter. He puts things out all the time. A press conference, you're going to see it from someone else anyway. Why do you need to be sitting there? They should all just walk out. Sarah Huckster Sanders, all she does is lie. She goes out there every day and lies, and now she's like, it hurts my feelings when people call me a liar. Well, then stop lying, you dummy.
Well, I did tweet in reply to that. I said, all right, I won't call you a liar. How about if I call you a bellicose propagandist? Is that better? Because that's exactly what she is.
Man,
you do realize that you're going to actually make the White House have to use a dictionary.
They can't block us anymore, so you can say whatever you want.
Well, we sure don't have that rule up here.
Like your government can block you there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, up until yesterday, the day before, ours could, I think. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
2 days, just 2 days ago.
Just because it's a rule doesn't mean it's going to be followed.
Well, I mean, but if the president is giving official speeches, people have to be able to get that. He can't block people from getting his official messages. If he chooses to use Twitter, that's on him.
I think it'll just turn into no new blocks. That's about it.
That's dumb. He should unblock everyone he's blocked.
He doesn't have to.
That's not right.
You know. Well, it doesn't matter if it's right. I mean, it's just like I heard at RightsCon numerous times over the 3 days. It may be legal, but is it right?
No, and it's neither.
Welcome to the 21st century, Tim.
Oh man, you know what? Let's move on. Since we're on the subject of this orange buffoon, loved by the Klan and Nazis. Trump did something pretty cool. Well, here, I'll read number 2 first. Trump backs out of the Korean Peace Summit after Kim Jong Un backed out. It's kind of like if someone saying, "You're not invited to my party," and the other person saying, "Good, I didn't want to come anyway."
Well,
So,
I never expected it to happen anyway.
yeah, last week
Oh, it's back on.
No, he said it might be back on.
If NBC will give me the right time slot and I'm guaranteed a percentage of the advertising, it might be back on.
I think Kim Jong Un is just like having fun. Like, let me say it's on. Let me say it's off.
Well, I mean, the whole issue, I mean, Kim Jong Un is, whatever you think of him, but the bottom line is, if somehow the American troops would get the fuck out of South Korea, they would probably be reunified within 5 years. Because the South Korean government that's in now, after the previous one got thrown in jail, they're back to the 90s again. They're looking for unification. They're willing to listen. They're willing to help. They're not a U.S. puppet.
I don't think it's in the U.S. best interest to unify him, is it, Glenn?
Well, the only reason North Korea exists is because there's 50,000 plus U.S. troops in South Korea, and China is not cool with that. There's got to be a buffer zone, and that's all North Korea is.
Yeah.
So I mean, if the Americans would go home, the Republic of Korea has more than enough of their own military to defend themselves. They don't need the Americans there.
Right.
So I mean, if the Americans left, I don't think there would be a big issue because China would do everything possible to help, and Russia probably would too.
That's
So
what I'm saying. It wouldn't be in our best interest because now your enemy got really strong.
Well, is it worse with 50,000 Americans in South Korea and having this whole issue with nuclear weapons? Or would
I'm not
the
saying
Americans...
when I say us, I'm talking about like the government, like the United States and the defense contractors and the politicians and all the people.
Oh, yeah, of course. They don't want it, but...
That's what I meant. I didn't mean the people. The people, of course, the people want unity all around the world. Hopefully.
But this decision should be made by the two Koreas. Nobody else. I mean, there is no official peace treaty. Still.
Yeah, but there's so many places.
It was just an armistice agreement.
Yeah, exactly. And it's held for, this long, more or less.
There's so many places around the world to be better off if they didn't have American U.S. troops over there. We're everywhere. We have 800 something bases around the world. Who needs that? For what?
To protect the money.
Jeez.
And the oil.
Well, they take the oil, don't protect the oil.
I forgot.
I mean, this has always been the thing. I mean, people just... I think that the Obama administration liked it better when North Korea really wasn't an issue, because sooner or later, there's going to be some sort of expansion of what American people actually know about the Korean War. And I'll tell you what, if my family survived that war in North Korea, yeah, I don't care how many generations it's been, I'm not going to be a fan of Americans, because they tried to obliterate the entire fucking country. They dropped more ordnance on North Korea for the pace than they did over Germany in World War II. And there's nothing there. They did firebombing of North Korean cities, just like they did in Germany. So, if they're not too pro-American, I kind of get it.
Yeah, I can't see how anybody could be pro-American. Not even people who live here. It's such a horribly corrupt system we have here. And it never fixes itself. It never gets better. It always just keeps marching toward faster and faster towards straight on fascism.
I think there's a certain element to that. Trump will do anything now to delay an actual big decision. He's turned around and tried to sabotage the NAFTA trade agreement talks with Canada and Mexico again, because the rumors were we were getting close to a deal, and then idiot Stick opens his mouth, and it puts everything back a month. I think he's just scared shitless to actually make a decision that's going to be in history about his incompetence. He's scared.
But it's quite obvious he's incompetent to begin with, historically. I mean, what do you think history books are going to say about him already? He's not going to be looked at as one of the greats.
No, but he could be looked at as just some idiot who got a hold for a couple years and then that was over.
Just forgotten, yeah, kind of one of the forgotten, less known, less thought about presidents.
Yeah, Garfield.
Yeah. Well, they named a cartoon cat after him.
Well, could name a cartoon character after this one, I'm sure.
Cartoon lump of crap named Trump.
No. We already have Mr. Hanky.
Howdy how. Yeah, what? Anything else on this? Or you want to move on to the NFL? Nolan should be.
Well, I just want to go back to the start, and I say this MS-13 thing is just like what was done to the Japanese in World War II.
Yeah, it's totally ridiculous. I mean, there's 11 million immigrants, supposedly, that are undocumented living in this country. And what do you figure? 1,000 or less are MS-13 members?
Yeah, probably less.
Yeah, I'm being generous, giving you 1,000, and then I mean, there's probably way more than 1,000 in the gang, but they're United States citizens born here.
Yep.
And there's tons of other gangs that have thousands of members, including white supremacist gangs.
Don't forget about how many hundreds of thousands are in the blue gang, the police.
Yeah. But I'm saying just what they would call criminal gangs. They do a lot of crime. MS-13, I don't believe, is the worst one. I mean, some of these white supremacist gangs are pretty bad. Some of these Crips and Blood gangs are pretty bad. Other Latino gangs are bad. There's all kinds of gangs. There's Russian mafia. Trump seems, they launder money through the president. They're really bad. So,
all I can say is that South Vietnam and Guatemala and Honduras never had street gangs that were crazy with firearms until the Americans showed up.
Well, yeah, I mean that's if you look at the history behind the Crips and the Bloods, and you'll see it comes from activism. They were actually created for something good and then infiltrated and destroyed from within. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This government is sick, and it always has been. It's nothing what Trump knew. It's just maybe seems sick now. In our lifetimes, we haven't seen it being really sick, but it's been really sick a lot in the past. I mean,
so what do you want?
We had slavery, we had genocide, we had Trail of Tears, we'd have people locked up for being communist, quote unquote. We had all kinds of stuff go on in this country. Japanese internment camps. It's always been sick. It's just, who is it being sick toward and how sick is it going to be? And when is the sickness going to become fatal for everybody? Or terminal or whatever.
Meteor Strike 2018.
Yeah.
Meteors.
Can we aim them?
Not yet.
Man, if we could aim meteors, we could like just hit the bad people, like all around the world, all their parliaments and White Houses and Pentagons and defense, whatever, and then all the Walmarts and stuff like that. Man, give people a chance again. Yeah, we gotta control meteors, Glenn. That's good. We gotta somehow get a superpower.
Talk to Elon Musk.
Can you build me a super suit that can control meteors?
No, all I have left is flamethrowers. Sorry.
Oh, no, they're out.
What is that about?
It's a gimmick. That's all. It's a branding exercise with a big price tag. It, you know.
Yeah,
Commit.
like a couple $1,000s, and it look like a. You know what, people? You can make a flamethrower for like $30 with a super soaker and a lighter. You don't need to pay $5,000 or $3,000, whatever he's selling them things for.
But it didn't.
Super soaker, canister of butane, and a lighter.
There you go. We weren't going to post the schematics or the instructable online because of legal implications. And we're not responsible if you build one. We'd rather you sue Elon Musk because he's worth a lot more money than we are. So, Elon, what's his name?
Elon Musk.
Oh, okay.
All I got to say is 3 words. 3D printer.
There you go. Yeah, you can. Why make a flamethrower? You just make a real gun with a 3D printer.
So I've heard.
Yeah. You know what
Okay,
else
what do
you
you-
can make with a 3D printer?
Just about anything now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Dang you! I was gonna say, what can't you make? Oh, look, I got the chat. Judith Poe is in the chat.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Your work is truly appreciated. I think she was talking to you, Seven. Your work is truly appreciated.
No.
And good thinking, Tim. I have no idea what that was about because I just ramble. So something I said was actually good thinking. That's a first. So yeah, let's go into number 4 so we can wrap this show up and go home from our giant studio mansion we record this at together.
Sure.
Glenn parked his helicopter up on the helipad, so I had to park mine on the lawn, which sucks because I like to have the helipad.
For anybody who wants to know where we're broadcasting from, we're right out in front of 900 Pennsylvania Avenue today.
Is that where our
Okay.
mansion is, where we record in the giant studio?
No, but we're right in front of the FBI building. Everybody wave hi.
Oh, we're in the giant tent that looks like a mansion in front of the FBI building.
Yeah. I ain't waving hi to the FBI. They've seen enough of me today. Again, spying on
You
my-
brought them
Wait,
brought them
yeah.
another cake from me?
What?
Wait, Steve,
You brought
yeah.
them another cake from me?
I'm guessing they probably watched me with that Stormy Daniels video earlier on my laptop through the laptop camera.
Oh, yeah, they do that a lot.
You know, I hope it disturbed the fuck out of them. Fuckers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she does, but I thought it was more normal. Maybe she's I don't know.
Oh, I meant me. They'd be watching me.
Oh, I
Watching.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So,
High atop a cloud above a beanstalk with all the gold, and he still has time to watch porn.
absolutely, man.
Priorities.
I thought you were like petting your goose so you get more golden eggs.
There's a joke in there.
Talking to your heart. Anyway, once again, that doesn't make sense out of context. Steve is a giant. He's like 7 feet tall. That's why. So beanstalks and all that. That's just because we're being bigoted against giants and saying disparaging things.
That's right. I'm 7 feet tall. I'm also single for any ladies listening.
Okay, now this show is
he
fucking
also loves the
changing.
short women.
All right, Tim, you better pull this show back on the rails.
Okay, on to 4.
The NFL has been caught up in scandals ranging from domestic violence, animal abuse, blatant racism, racist mascots and team names, and sports fans are always threatening to boycott. But it only lasts a short time before they're back watching every game. They're back. I can't even spell their. Never mind. I think I read it. I'm sorry. I did this like voice to text, and I spelled their THEIR. And as I'm reading it now, I'm like, they're back. Didn't make sense. Before they are back watching every game. Now Trump demanded that the players not only to stand proudly. Wait, hang on. I should have read this before I just wrote it and sent it, right? Now, Trump demanded that the players not only to stand, but to stand proudly during the anthem, and the NFL made it a policy that players must stand for the racist national anthem. What will it take for sports fans to actually boycott the NFL instead of just saying they're going to boycott the NFL and not doing it because their team's playing?
I think it's pretty demonstrative of what the core NFL demographic is, because, the NFL is one of the biggest collusion enterprises in the United States, exempt from antitrust legislation, just like baseball, and they do everything for money. So if they're accepting this stand, then there's money in it for them. So that tells me that a majority of their fan base go along with this.
I mean, don't forget, the players didn't even have to take the field for the anthem until the NFL itself got one hell of a donation.
Yep.
From the Pentagon.
Yep. And again, you can go back to a Central European government of the last century to see the last time sport was co-opted so overwhelmingly.
Yeah, well, I mean, the NFL, doesn't it get tax money for some stuff or a lot of stuff? I think it's somehow we help fund it whether we watch the football or not, right?
Yeah.
Teams a lot of times get funded by taxpayer money, and particularly their arenas that they play in.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case,
stadiums in this case,
if they're taking tax money, then shouldn't their workers get freedom of speech to say what they want? I mean, it's not like working at Walmart or something.
Well, if we're gonna cut hairs, it's actually local taxes that the individual teams get, which means that basically, as far as I know, they're not getting any tax money from the federal government aside from a payoff by the Pentagon specifically to have these uber patriotic displays where all of redneck America decides for 2 minutes that they actually give a shit about freedom.
But don't they get like police security, or do they have like their own security? I don't know how it all works. That's why I'm asking. So that's why Nolan should be here. He knows all about the sports thing.
My understanding is when you hold a event, whether it's a concert, a sporting event, or whatever, you have to pay the arena for rental, which in this case, if you're the team that's hosted there, you wouldn't. But still, police are hired by the venue, and then it comes out of your pocket. You pay the venue to hire the police, or sometimes you hire the police directly. So,
it's not. They're actually paying the police.
Yeah, right. That's not really with taxpayer money.
There's something screwy about this. Maybe we can get back into it if hopefully nothing. Well, I mean, I'm sure if they when is football season? I don't even know that. Is it right now or is it coming up?
No, a couple months.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk about it again during football season and have an actual person who's a football fan, like super football fan, like Nolan on. who can tell us, because I have no. Glenn, this is
Well,
like you said. It sounded like we were talking about North Korea last time.
well, I mean, what Steve said, or no, what Seven said is absolutely spot on. All major sporting events in the United States were not sold as events of the state. I mean, there never used to be all these flyovers and all this honor guard, all this kind of shit. It used to be maybe around Memorial Day, Labor Day. That's about it. But now it's every stadium, every game, and it's not because of such undying patriotism. It's because somebody's paying for it somewhere down the line. And it's like anything else. It's selling opinion. And I think there's something that nobody's really talking about is the NFL right now is coming to the end of the most outrageous television rights contract that any sports outfit has ever gotten. And there's a lot of talk that they're not going to be able to match it again. They're not going to get the same money they got in this contract. So they may be looking for a replacement source of revenue. And I think the Pentagon is a pretty safe place to look for it.
Oh, that makes sense. So they're coming. They've had a contract with whatever.
Well, yeah, their contract they got to televise their games was just outrageous. And the numbers really don't justify those kind of numbers again. I could see the networks walking, letting another network take their games to work out a deal, or, they want constant profit increases. And I don't think they're going to get it next time they come around to negotiate for TV. Don't forget they have their own network now, too. So I just think they're looking for replacement income.
How about just pay everybody a lot less?
Now you're making sense. You're not allowed to make sense.
I mean, you're paying people millions of dollars to play with balls. Like, I don't know. It just seems like they pay.
I'm not even going there.
They pay
in tights, no less.
No, I mean, just saying they pay the dumbest people. Not dumb like people are dumb, but I mean the dumbest careers get the most money. Like, you're playing a game or you're pretending to be somebody else, in a movie or whatever, and you're getting millions and millions. But the people that are healing you and teaching your kids and doing all this other stuff, they can't even survive on the money.
Well,
it just seems way out of proportion, and then they're complaining they're not going to make enough money for what?
Well, I mean, that's the ethos, which is a sad word to use in this case, but that's the ethos of modern crony capitalism. Always more. We don't care how, just more.
I mean, shit, man. Do you know how much my fucking insurance is on my Ferrari?
Well, there's always that, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Gordon Gekko lives on. But, that's what it's about. I mean, remember how big NASCAR was? Maybe 7-8 years ago? It ain't that big anymore, and that's because they just went too far. And they turned people off.
Rednecks watching cars driving circles or something.
But, I mean, 5-6 years ago, it quit being about the racing, and it was about being an American. And they just alienated a lot of people that wanted to watch a race, not some bullshit trailer park wannabe show.
So, yeah, I was gonna say, do you think the average football fan is like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till the national anthem comes before this. I'm gonna stand up and put my hand on my heart, and here it comes. Or you think they just really just want to see the sporting event and could care less about the rest of the nationalistic stuff?
Well, I don't know. I think this decision proves that it's a lot closer than we think. Because if it was only 15 or 20% of the America fuck yeah, people who paid for the tickets and paid for the cable TV packages, they probably wouldn't have done this. But, you know, when you're talking about subscribers to the NFL Network and season ticket owners and people who fly to the Super Bowl and shit like that, there's data on these people. They know where they stand, and those people are their money. So they must have a pretty good indication because, yeah, it's risky. I mean, only to a certain degree because they have a monopoly. You know?
I'm thinking of everyone I know who likes sports, like loves it, and none of them are even patriotic by definition. I wouldn't even say by a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just thinking see where's Nolan? We need a sports fan, but I'm thinking that they wouldn't care. They'd probably be like, it's better just to get right to the game, you know, than having to sit and watch someone sing a song or something.
Yeah, but again, it's about money. And another thing to consider is if this is a precedent that this administration wants to make, then it's so much easier for them to have the National Football League do it instead of the government coming out and doing it. You know, it's proxy. It's fascism by proxy.
What you said? The NFL is only on one station? Like one network has them?
No, they have their own network.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if they're affiliated with NBC. That's all I was. Do you know or you don't know?
Yeah, they are.
Doesn't Trump have a big in with NBC?
Oh, well, I know he used to have a lot bigger one than he's got now, but I'm sure it's
he
not.
Still has a big.
I'm sure he knows a lot of people that are big wigs over there, man. I don't know. It just seems a little bit. If I don't know because if they're on all the different networks, I don't know how it works.
Well, I'll tell you something. I mean, Germany has always been one of the premier footballing nations in the world, soccer, and they never had any anthem or allegiance until in the early 30s they started doing it. What a coincidence.
Yeah, the parallels are crazy. It's just people don't see it because they're I think a lot of people, when they look at the history of Germany or any of these terrible atrocities that happen, they look at it in that time. They don't look at it in modern times with technology and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're thinking it has to happen just like this or it's not happening. Things are different. It's happening in a different way with a lot of the same similarities, but there's technology now. We moved on. People know more. We are all connected. So it can't happen the same way. It has to happen differently within but they don't. I don't think a lot of people see that.
Well, the common factor is it still involves people. And sure as shit, people said the same thing back then, you know. Why don't people catch on? What the hell's wrong with people? Can't they see it? You know, there were people saying that back then too.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at the atrocities that happened before them.
Because, I mean, back then, if you printed a newspaper that was against the Hitler government, well, guess what? Your paper was either burned down or you ended up in prison or something else. So, I mean, we've just advanced it to new technology because if you say the wrong shit on social media, gee, what happens?
Yeah, but I just think we have so much more access to information than they did back then. There's no excuse to let this happen.
But they have a lot more control.
And remember, they have every right to call it all fake news.
Because they said so.
Right to call it all fake news, but we have every right to say that's fine if that's what you want to call it. But we know.
But it's fake news.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I just think we're surrounded by ignorant, uneducated idiots. I don't know. That's the only explanation I can come up with. Because people should be really mad. A whole lot of people should have been mad years and years and years ago.
Yep.
I mean, years ago with Clinton and Bush and Reagan and Obama and now this guy thing, whatever it is. It's just the look. He looks weird and he acts like weird, so he's an easier target. But they're all crooked. He
just brings his crookedness out into the open.
It's just all their crookedness together kept breeding and breeding until it got to this thing, and this is what it created.
Yep.
So sad. So Glenn, you're gonna move to the United States after the apocalypse because houses will be cheap.
No.
Oh, I was just asking. Did we get through everything?
More or less.
I'm trying to look. Yeah, last week's show it was like just a giant tangent. Yeah, we got through. You know what? Number 1 was the People's Voice shows. Wow. I didn't even know that. I thought I was throwing something in that wasn't even on the list. So that's cool. Anyone got anything else to add?
I know that the time's really short on net neutrality.
Oh yeah.
It's up to the Senate now. Has anybody got anything current on that?
I hate to be the I don't know, the naysayer, I guess, but I don't think Congress is going to push that through. And after Congress, doesn't it have to go to the president?
Well, Congress can stop it. Otherwise, it's happening. The House voted to stop it. Now it's up to the Senate. All it takes is a simple majority.
I don't know. I have no faith in these people after the Gina Haspel thing, so we'll see. I had no faith in them before the Gina Haspel thing. I don't know why I'm pretending that that's even a monumental thing.
Well, I think the confirmation hearings for both Pompeo and Haspel only proves that the problem is the entire system in D.C. It's not just the White House. It's the Capitol, too.
Yeah.
It's the Capitol. It's the whole goddamn thing. Complete house cleaning.
Well, it doesn't matter because these people are so stupid. Oh, it's a Republican president. We need a Democratic. We just had a Democratic president, you idiots. And he did terrible, terrible things. Before that, we had another Republican president. He did terrible, 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 terrible things. Before that, we had a Democratic president who did terrible, terrible things. And before that, I can go on and on. You see the similarities? There might be one or two more terribles on certain ones, but they've all, either Democratic or Republican, have done terrible things. So
yeah. And that's all a team mentality. And gee, what an amazing coincidence that the Pentagon has an interest in team activities.
Literally.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder.
Okay, I do have. Sorry, after you.
Go ahead.
Well, after this little conversation, you guys have made up my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to officially announce my candidacy for the role of president.
Oh, 7. I wish I voted. Then you would have had my vote.
I wish I could vote.
Well, I'm in a different country.
Your vote counts. More than mine does.
Glenn, don't you know that in California alone, like 30 billion illegal aliens voted against Trump?
And most of them were dead.
Yeah, so I think one Canadian wouldn't hurt to add to the pile. Just vote for 7.
Well, I could drive to the consulate in Calgary and see if they'd let me do it, I guess.
Yeah, just say I'm here to cast my vote for 7. President 7.
I'm running on the Reboot platform.
How come we can't sell our votes? I can't just sell my vote to you, Glenn, for like 50 cents. I want it in Canadian pennies, not American.
That's still too much.
That's a felony.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you're talking under 7 digits, it's a crime. Well, yeah. I mean, the only vote buying and selling that's allowed in the United States is done with entire counties or districts, and it's for real money. That's okay. But if you want, well, you don't have a district.
And that's still chump change.
Okay, we
And
may
that
have
vote
to,
is still chump change.
Okay, we may have to renegotiate the terms. I'll have my people call your people.
Thanks for having me.
I think opstopsuicide is a freaking awesome thing, and definitely people get on board, help out with that. As somebody who has been suicidal in the past, little things are big things at that point in time. That's how you get suicidal. You like little things, little bad things are really big bad things, but likewise, little positive things can be big positive things. A kind word might make all the difference. It might not seem like much to you, but it can make all the difference.
Okay, so I did it again, guys. I just realized when Steve started talking that when I tried to mute myself, I unmuted myself. So the whole speech I gave before was muted. So I
No,
gave
we
a
heard it.
beautiful, touching, the best speech you ever heard. Believe me, it was better than Trump's chocolate cake. It was the best speech ever. So it's lost forever. Sorry, guys.
It was bigly huge.
The way I look,
Basically, I said I don't care if you're selfish or not. Help op stop suicide because even a selfish person gets something out of it. That's all.
we heard that.
No, but I had it muted to the audience.
Oh, wow, really? Okay.
I did this
Well,
a couple times before. Go ahead.
And this is the reason why you're not allowed to use the control board.
Yeah, I suck. Go ahead.
well, I mean,
Talking.
like Seven and Steve have both said, if there's somebody out there who's not happy with how things are, like otherwise you're breathing, and you want to find a place to devote some time, some effort. So I ask you, if you really are concerned about the state of affairs, are you going to put in hours and effort to campaign about some preposition that's going to be on the ballot? Or do you want to put your time in where you could actually help save lives? That's something that I think is a real simple way to look at it, but you never hear that in the media when you talk about suicide. This isn't about defeating some bullshit law. This is about saving lives. It's important.
Yeah, Op Stop Suicide and as well as Op Safe Winter are really, really important ops that people can all anyone can get involved in. It don't have to be anonymous. You just have to be someone who cares.
Yep.
Really
A human
important.
being.
Yeah. Like those are two ops. Like I don't see why everyone isn't involved in those with whatever else they're doing. You know, it just seems like that's just should be something we all do every day, op or not. Anyway, someone needs help, we help them. It's just compassion. It's not. It's something that we're born with. Hopefully. So
Agree.
yeah. What?
I agree. Close her down.
I concur. Show's over. All right. Thank you for listening. Judith Poe, thank you for listening. You're the only one we know is actually listening. So
Right?
if anyone else is listening, join the dang chat next time. So
That's
yeah.
right.
No. I'm just all right, so thanks you guys. We'll see everybody next week. And thanks again, Seven. It's always awesome when you're on here. And we're going out.